Testing Mark Box audio. Mark Box audio. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good audio? It sounds good? All right now? 11 o'clock, we should be up.
What you say? Aaron to see us.
Okay. Good morning. On this wonderful, beautiful, hot day, right? My name is Tamra Fountaine Hardy, and I'm the director of the City of Detroit Housing and Revitalization Department's Neighborhood Services Division. I would like to welcome and thank you for joining us this morning to share exciting details about the Neighborhood Beautification Program. This program allows block clubs, nonprofits, and neighborhood associations to apply for grants ranging from $500 to $15,000 from the city that can be placed or used to beautify their communities and make Detroit a more beautiful place to live. Isn't that great? A round of applause, yes. These grants can be used for cleanup activities, putting in a community garden or public activities. Maybe you want to put in a garden for vegetables. These funds can be used for that. We are here today to share how your community organization or neighborhood association can apply for these grants starting today, starting now. Yes. And with that, it is my pleasure to introduce the Honorable Mayor of Detroit, Mike Duggan.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Tamra, and I think the community is going to see that we have picked the right person to run this program. This day has been a while coming. 8 years ago, the land bank had about 80,000 vacant lots in this city. And we know what has happened in the Wayne County Treasurer's auction. When these properties was put up for auction, people in other states, people in other countries, people from out of town came in and bought up land in Detroit for small amounts of money, didn't maintain it, and we spent years trying to get it back. And so we had a question. People said, land bank, you got this 80,000 land, why don't you sell it? And I said, I'm not going to let this property go into the hands of people outside the city. We are going to make sure that Detroiters get the Detroit property. And we started a program called the Side Lot Program, where any neighbor could buy the lot next to their house for $100. We have now sold more than 20,000 parcels of land to neighbors so they could put a swing set or a garden or fix up the area right around their house. I was out here a few years back with Mr. Preston in the Mohican Regent Neighborhood Association, one of the strongest neighborhood associations in this city. And his issue then was all the vacant houses. We went through and filed lawsuits, took vacant houses away from those who had walked away from them, got many of them fixed up. We have more to go, but this neighborhood has come a long way. Then we got to the next question. What about the lots that aren't next door to somebody? You know, who's going to buy those? Well, of course, we had speculators from all over who wanted to buy the land in our neighborhoods. We said, we're not doing that. We set up a program where only block clubs and associations and block clubs and community associations could make a decision to take lots in their own neighborhood and drive it. I took a lot of criticism for not selling land to people outside the city, but I thought the neighbors who lived here, the neighbors who stayed, should make that decision. And we've had across the city gardens and parklets formed. But every single time I'm with one of these groups, they say, it'd be a whole lot easier for our block club to develop this property if we get some grants to do it. So the land bank property is nice. And today we are launching a $2.25 million fund. It's funded $1.25 million from the American Rescue Plan. We're deeply appreciative of President Biden. We're putting the federal money into the neighborhoods, and it's being supplemented by $1 million in a program that Mary Sheffield, council president, originally sponsored. When she supported the building of Little Caesars Arena, she pointed out that the basketball players, even if they're in town for one game, they pay a lot of income tax for what they earned that one game. And she suggested we take that income tax from the players, put it into a fund. We've now got $1 million there. And so from the fund that Council President Sheffield sponsored, the funds from President Biden, we've now got $2.25 million. They can go to any block club and neighborhood association of the city, grants between $500 and $15,000. What you need to do is, one, you need to be a block club or a neighborhood association. Two, you've got to have the lots. Now, if you've already got the lots from the land bank, you can go onto the website right now and put in your application and say, I'm going to do a community garden. I'm going to do a park. I'm going to do a beautification project. If you've got some land bank properties in your neighborhood that you don't have yet, you can contact the land bank or work through your district manager, and we will move the properties from the land bank to the neighborhood group and then give you the money to get started on fixing it up. So we're going to put the land and the money in the hands of the neighborhoods and the neighbors who stayed. How does that sound? And Mr. Preston has always been visionary. I'm really glad that he's kicking this off. I got a chance to talk to some of the neighbors across the street who have been here for a number of years, and they're going to get a chance to be part of designing something beautiful. And I have to say, Councilman Scott Benson, you can't ever meet with him without him talking about Mohican Regent, this neighborhood group, this commitment to this community. He has been the biggest champion of this area from day one. And so this is what happens when the mayor and the council and the neighborhood groups work together. So any neighborhood group in the city, get control of the land, go on the website, put your application in, and it's going to be a lot of fun in the next year as we go from neighborhood to neighborhood and see the beauty that's created. And with that, I want to introduce the person who initiated all this about 4 or 5 years ago with the Little Caesars deal. Please welcome Council President Mary Sheffield.
All right, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good morning, everyone. First, I would like to thank the Mohican Regent Neighborhood Association for allowing us the privilege of hosting today's press conference here. Personally, I'm very excited to see the vision that you all have for your community. I had the privilege of speaking with some of you briefly this morning, and now that vision being brought to fruition by way of the beautification program that is being announced this morning. You and many other block clubs and neighborhood organizations have been advocating and have been steadfast in your desires to cultivate a neighborhood that you take so much pride in, and we commend you all for that. Working as closely as my office does with residents in block clubs in District 5, I know firsthand the desires of residents to make their neighborhoods clean, safe, and beautiful. I've heard countless times from residents and neighborhood leaders of how to go into their own pockets to make sure that vacant lots next door to them are maintained and manicured, how they utilize their own time tending to areas around the neighborhoods that have been neglected, and how they want to enjoy having pride where they live. One thing I know about Detroiters is that they don't just sit and wait for help. They are active participants in revitalizing their communities and oftentimes have great visions for their communities, just need extra help and funding to bring those visions to reality. So this announcement brings me much joy. I created, as the mayor mentioned, the Neighborhood Improvement Fund because Detroit is more than just downtown. Detroit is the neighborhoods in which you all live. You in this city deserve to reap the benefits of all the investment happening downtown. And so with that, this program does come with being funded with $1 million from the Neighborhood Improvement Fund, which was a fund I created and when supported by my colleagues, which is the proceeds from the income taxes from the Pistons players. And so lastly, I want to say, as I close, to the block clubs and neighborhood leaders, I want to say thank you for all the hard work and dedication over the years of maintaining your communities and your neighborhoods and to beautifying our city. We have made progress, and I'm excited about the opportunity you've been given through this program to finally complete the projects that have been circulating in your block club meetings and also circulating in your hearts. I cannot wait for the disbursements of these funds and see how each block club will create a space that is reflective of their neighborhood. I feel honored to have championed this program and now the ability to be able to beautify our city. Now let's see how and show everyone how beautiful we can make the city of Detroit. I thank each and every one of you. And now I would like to bring up my colleague in the district that he represents, District 3, Councilman Scott Benson.
All right, thank you, Mayor Duggan, and thank you, President Sheffield. It is, as always, an honor and a privilege to come up here today before you. You all could be anywhere, but you chose to be with us celebrating this great new grant opportunity for our residents here in the 3rd District and throughout the city. So with that, I want to make sure that we thank Mayor Duggan as well as Council President Mary Sheffield for their hard work to make this come to reality. But who I really want to thank today are my bosses in the Mohican region area for their steadfast commitment to building something that is a community asset at this corner. And so prior to my even being elected 8 years ago to represent the northeast side of Detroit in the 3rd District, Mohican Regent have been working to turn this area into something that was a community asset. It's been vacant, it's been blighted over a number of years. They have infused tons of sweat equity, hours of sweat equity into keeping this as something that doesn't just become overrun and a danger. And so now they are actually seeing the fruits of that labor and that commitment. They are going to be able to put something, hopefully here, that's going to look something like a passive vest pocket park that becomes a gathering space for the community, that becomes a place they can be proud of, where you can bring your families and you can gather. And so this is what this type of resource does for our community residents who, as the president said, have been so steadfast in their commitment to maintaining their community. It also ensures that we're going to be able to add additional value and turn something into a community asset that has been a bit of an eyesore over the years, and that this is just another symbol of how residency has its privileges. Only in Detroit are you going to see a program of this nature funded to support your community residents. And so it is just such a huge honor and privilege to be here, and thank you all for being here, and thank you to the city of Detroit for making this a reality. And with that, I want to make sure that we bring up someone who can talk about this program, Ms. Daija Butler of Wayne Metro, to explain the application process. Ms. Butler.
Good morning, City of Detroit. I'm Daija Butler, Director of Systems Planning at Wayne Metropolitan Community Action Agency, and I have the esteemed privilege of announcing that the application is now live for the Neighborhood Beautification Program grant. To apply for this grant, please visit our website, www.waynemetro.org. There, front and center, you'll see a banner that explicitly says Neighborhood Beautification Program Grants. Once you click that banner, you'll be led to the web page. The web page is extremely detailed. It lists everything that you need to know to get the process started and to get to successful completion. It's important that you view everything on that web page because it's you who determines how quickly those funds are dispersed to your neighborhoods. You can view the grant guidelines. Please read those thoroughly. We have also included a checklist where you can mark off every single document that is needed in order to ensure a successful application. We realize some people have technology barriers, or there may be questions or concerns that you may have. So we are launching 2 information sessions this month. One to be held on Thursday, June 23rd at noon, and the other Thursday, June 30th at 6 p.m. So we're accommodating those who have daytime availability as well as those who work. So you're able to get that information that you need. If you require more personalized or specialized attention, we're also offering one-on-one technical assistance sessions. So if you need access to a computer or internet, if you have program-specific questions, if you have questions on how to become a legal entity, be it an LLC or a 501c3, we have almost 900 Wayne Metro staff behind this program that can assist you in getting the information that you need. If you have any questions or concerns at all about the Neighborhood Beautification Program grant, you can reach Wayne Metro at 313-388-9799, and that's option 3. You can also reach us by email at N as in Nancy, B as in Bob, G as in Grant at waynemetro.org, and we will respond to your request. The timeline is within 1 to 2 business days, but I have my team getting back to people same day. So there won't be any delay in our response time. We are so excited about the opportunity to partner with city leadership to make sure that revitalization takes place beyond Midtown. It takes place beyond downtown, but it's something that's available for all Detroiters. And we look forward to sharing and shifting power, not only at the city and the nonprofit and community action level, but sharing it with the community at large. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, Daija. And of course, everything, and I want to emphasize everything we do at the city is for our residents. It is my great honor to introduce you to one of the dedicated, hardworking residents here in Mohican Regent who plans on applying for one of these grants. George Preston and his neighbors want to turn this site into a beautiful park, a place of peace. Please welcome Mr. George Preston.
Thank you, Ms. Hardy. Again, my name is George Preston, president of the Neighborhood Association. But again, not just me. I'm working with a great board, a group of people that are working behind the scenes to impact the quality of our neighborhood. So I'm going to ask them to raise your hand if you're part of that board so that they can see who some of you are. Okay. Again, now today, I am truly ecstatic when I hear that the funding is available, and I want to say thank you to Mayor Duggan, to Council President Mary Sheffield, our Councilman Scott Benson, and our district managers. Again, we want to say thank you for giving us the opportunity to be a part of this neighborhood beautification program. Now, this area that we're in now consists of 9 lots. Now, we're only able to purchase 4 at this point, but again, this has been an eyesore for over 10 years in our neighborhood, and it's been a dump site over here. But, the neighbors have worked hard behind the scenes to try and keep it as clean as they possibly can. So I just want to say a special thank you to Mr. Marshall over here, who is one of the people that cut the grass here to the portions that you see that make it look a lot better. We also have Mr. Lewis, who is sitting in the middle of the block down there. He's listening, but he couldn't be here because he's just getting over COVID and didn't want to expose anyone. So again, I want to say thank you to them. Now, again, we submitted our ideas to Wayne Metro, and we've heard some of the things that we can do and some of the things that we can't do. So tonight, again at 6 o'clock, we're going to hold a meeting at the Ford Resource Center to discuss, because we want to hear from the neighborhood, because we have a short window to fill that application out and get it back in and to start the process. So we'll sit down and talk to you. We want to hear from you what you want. Now, we've got some ideas in terms of what we would like to do to this area. We do have a vision, but again, you have to see this every day if you live right here. So again, we want to hear from you. So if you are coming to the meeting tonight, you need a flyer. See Mr. Sloan, he's back here. He has flyers for that meeting to give you the location. It's at the Ford Resource Center at State Fair and at 7 Mile and Hayes. Now, again, the goal is ultimately to make a gym of this area. Now, we're going to need committed people over here, and we know the commitment has already started because of what you've been doing behind the scenes already, but we're looking at a long-term commitment because we're not just going to upgrade this area, we want to maintain it. So, lastly, I just want to say thank you once again to everyone that has played a role in terms of being where we are to this date, and hopefully you can make it to that meeting this evening to hear what some of the things are and talk about some of the things that we're going to be doing, because again, our district manager will be there, Ms. Erin Harris, and also Wayne Metro will be there. So thank you again, thank you.
And that will conclude our press conference. Do we have any questions about the Neighborhood Beautification Program? Seeing no hands, yes.
Yes. We're going to listen to you. We want to make it a sitting park to start, but we want to hear from you some of the things that you would like to see here. So yes, at tonight's meeting, we're going to talk about at 6 o'clock this evening. Tonight, we're going to talk about it.
Good question.
Very good question.
Takes teamwork to make the dream work.
It takes teamwork to make the dream work. And we'd like to thank each of you for being a part of the team, right? And with that, thank you for joining us on this beautiful day. And we're done. I'd like to remind you of the website, which is www.waynemetro.org /neighborhood-beautification-grant. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
Great job. Great job.
Good job.